Okay guys, so I know bullet journals have been really big in the past year or two, so I just thought I would share with you my bullet journal, sort of how I keep organized, different things that I put into it. Hopefully it can inspire you if you're looking to make a bullet journal, help you figure out, what course you want to take throughout yours, what sort of charts you want to make. So if you want to see my bullet journal, kind of get a little look into my mind and stuff like that, definitely keep on watching and enjoy. So this is my bullet journal. It's just a small gray journal. It has a little tassel down here if I want to keep track of where I am. Inside it just has a bunch of dots so I can try and stay symmetrical if I have to draw like lines or charts. And I like it because it is really simple. No one would know that it's a bullet journal. It looks like just a normal regular journal. So if we open her up, of course there's just like my name and what it is. Then we go to the title page, which I attempted to make fancy by drawing a nice little rose. Got a little carried away, so it's awkwardly colored in, but I think it's a nice start. Next, of course, we have our table of contents. This is pretty important when you make a bullet journal because, as you can see, I'm up to 41 pages. So you're definitely going to want to keep track of where things are, so when you go back to look for them, you can find them a lot easier. So here we have my fall bucket list. You can tell I kind of made a little error here and just went with it. Some of my things are, make a jack-o'-lantern, go to a haunted house. I crossed off things that I did. Over here we have our places I want to go. So I have some easy places like, there's DC, New York City, San Diego. And then I left little boxes so I can check them off as I go. So that way this is sort of like a long-term thing. Next we have, as a woman, the period tracker, so it just helps me keep track, make sure everything's regular. Then over here we have our sleep log, so as you can see I take naps occasionally. I think this was for September or October when I did this. So I obviously go to bed pretty late, these are all like 1, 2 over here, and then I'm getting up pretty early, so obviously this shows that I needed more sleep. This is movies that I would want to watch. So some of these I've done, Me Before You, Burnt, Byzantium, and then obviously the ones that I didn't color in are ones that I need to watch. Over here it says I've got a pocket full of sunshine, and it's just, things that make me happy. So here's like saw Wonder Woman, pulled chicken with the family. I guess we cooked that day. Went to the adventure park, saw Dirty Dancing, which was an amazing show, by the way. Highly recommend it. Next, TV series for fall. So you kind of write down how many there are, cross them off as you watch. I lost my provider information, so after I got to the free 7th episode, I had to stop for American Horror Story, and then Shameless hasn't come out on Netflix, and Outlander. I'm waiting because I want it to all finish before I have to pay to go see it. This is my mental health log, so you can see I kind of color-coded different feelings over here, and as the days pass, I mark down, how I felt that day. And this is cool because this is a whole year. This isn't just for like this month, so I never have to update this or anything else. And when it's done, it's going to look really, really cool. Alright, so this is my undo list, things I want to stop doing. So there's like... want to stop putting off reading books I bought and doing homework, stop spending money on apps that I don't really want to play, which was a really big problem for a while. Let's see, stop ignoring self-care, just small things like that, a couple of big ones. This is a lunar calendar. Obviously I had some issues because it's horribly slanted, but I really like space and stars, so that's why I kind of did this. I thought it was a really cool thing to document. Obviously I have to make a new one because this was for 2017, so I need to do the one for 2018. And hopefully this time I'll be a little bit more angular so that way it's not so slanted. Alright, then you have a couple of quotes. I'm a big quote collector, so this was obviously a matter of time before I added this into my journal. So we have a couple of things that I've read from books that really stuck with me. So there's like those who don't matter, those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. My favorite quote in the entire world: "You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here." It's my favorite quote in the whole world. It was my senior superlative quote. I like to use it any chance I get. So next we have all of our birthdays. So these were just the ones that I could remember off the top of my head. Obviously there's a ton more, but we have my brother, friends. I actually didn't put my birthday on here, but it's the same as my brother's. We're actually twins, so that's why I guess I put it there. My parents, just a cool thing. This is our books that I want to read. So instead of buying these books, instead I've been reading, you know, my old books, so I really got to get it together and start reading all these. A couple of them I have an audiobook, so I just kind of got to get it together. I did Turtles All the Way Down, which is amazing. Uglies, which was good as well. So I guess I really got to get it together and start reading some of these. This is my habit tracker for, it looks like September, just kidding, says it right there. So if we turn her sideways, you can see I had things like posting on Instagram, doing chores, reading a book, cooking a meal, and you just mark off what you do that so you can see kind of how you do things throughout the month. This is just a recipe for cinnamon apple crumb cake, which is one of my favorite things, so I just wrote the recipe here for in case I want to cook it. This is my little jar of wishes, stuff that I probably want to do someday. Apparently Magical Power Sabrina style was one of them. To go to a bar for my 21st. Did not do that actually, but because we're snowed in, but I did, you know, drink, so that was at home safely, so that was fun. Own a dog, have a lot of money, things like that. This is my money saver. So I actually already did my budget for the week. It's not going to be as big as this, so I'm definitely not going to be saving $5,000 a year, but hopefully I'll be able to do that at some point. Things I like about myself, this is a good self-care thing, so I said, you know, sometimes I'm smart, I can cook pretty good, stubborn, depending on how you look at it, that can be a thing to like. So this was just a grocery list. This is not something I'm ever really going to come back to. This was when I kind of started to eat a bit healthier, so I had a whole grocery list of things to get. I had my weekly meal prep, things like that. Of course, you know, you have your weight goals, and then you have your gym workout. This wasn't a gym workout, this was an at-home workout, which is a lot harder than it looked, and you can tell, obviously, I only marked off like 2 days, so I gave up on this pretty easily due to big lifestyle changes. Alright, these were all the Christmas gift planning, so these were like the people, the gifts, the price. Of course, everything came out to $415. Didn't follow this exactly, so I spent way more than I probably meant to, but, you know, friends and family are important, so it's okay if you overspend for Christmas. These are my pieces of happiness. That is 100% spelled wrong, but we're just going to overlook it, I guess. So I wrote wearing fancy dresses, makeup, stars, Howl-O-Scream, which is something Busch Gardens in Williamsburg does, Alice in Wonderland, Harry Potter, just things like that. Then you have 25 songs in 25 days. So, for example, it was like a song from your childhood. I put My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion that me and my mom used to sing. So you just kind of did that for 25 days, and I wrote down song each day. Oh, here is my October habit tracker. I obviously got a little bit more in depth with that, so I added a few more things. So there was like drink water, paid bills, chores, and I marked it. Obviously the one that I didn't do was journal. I mean, I did bullet journal, but I didn't write journal, which is something that I really been trying to do since the new year started. And then here is my October sleep log. So it took fewer naps, went to bed a little earlier. There's less 2 a.m.s. There's a couple of more 10 or 11s, and then they're still getting up at like 6 or 7. Except for like a few days where I woke up at 11. Self-care. These are things that I want to help to obviously defeat depression 2017. So take baths, eat something yummy, play with my cat, call someone you love, different things like that. My drawing practice, this obviously I didn't draw, but I got a new stamp over the holidays and I wanted to try it out, and this had empty space, so there you go. But obviously I tried some stuff here. This is like almost like my Christmas wish list, but I didn't really fully dedicate to it. I did get an electric keyboard for Christmas, so that's been really cool. Some of this stuff is obviously just stuff that I would like to get, like a new tattoo or like a bookshelf. Okay, here's our feel good playlist and then your when you're sad playlist. I kind of copied this off of Pinterest and then just wrote down the songs that I knew that I liked, so that's kind of how this came about. So obviously you got your oranges for happy and your blues for sad. I printed this out and taped it here because I thought it was really pretty. So these are just my favorite things. Like my favorite color is blue, favorite candy is Junior Mints. Next we have building a blog. So for a while I really wanted to get into doing blogs, and so I made out an entire plan, but obviously I was unable to follow through because I would have told you guys already if I had a blog. It's $80 a year. At the time I didn't really have the money, and at this point I don't know how dedicated I am to it, but in case I ever decide to go through with it, here's all the plans. This is just my spring semester schedule, so these are all the classes that I have to take in order to pass the time and stuff. Probably don't need to look at that. This is my schedule update in my final weeks of class, so these are all the tests and the exams. You can see stuff moved, and it was really stressful, but it got all over, and I think I ended with a lot more A's than I expected. So this is just my to-do list. There was like Spanish homework, my mythology paper, extend my book rentals, winter budget that I didn't follow at all, but it was nice that I still planned it out anyway. You can tell I've like tried to edit it when there's like these little white spots here where I whited it out. Obviously I didn't follow it too well, but it was nice that I tried. And last but not least, my winter date ideas, which I share with my boyfriend. He said we'll definitely try and do a couple, so maybe I'll mark them off if we go do them. So there's like go out for breakfast really early, go ice skating, build a gingerbread house, try a new restaurant, different things like that. So that's 41 pages of my bullet journal. Obviously there's a lot more to go because my table of contents, it goes up to 81. So I'll probably get back on board with that in the new year. And thanks for joining me. Hopefully this helped you out if you were looking to build your own bullet journal. And good luck, guys.